Are you one of the many INFJs that are stuck in a corporate job that you hate? It's so easy to fall into that trap. You need the money, right? You can't not work. So you take the corporate job with the intention of figuring out your purpose later. But then you get wrapped up in too much work, and then you find the right guy, and before you know it, you have two kids that need to go to school and practice, and making dinner and washing clothes seems to take up all of your time. What happened to all that time that you were going to spend figuring out what you wanted to do with your life that would make you happy? What happened to your purpose? We'll talk about that and much more on this episode of The Quiet Ones. I believe the biggest problem in the world is that people don't understand themselves enough. This show is designed to help you understand your INFJ personality, heal from your past, and create a life that you love. I'm Sarah Kuhn, and this is the Quiet Ones podcast. Last year at this time, I was living on my own, working a job I hated, and spending a lot of time trying to figure out my business. I felt like I was making some progress, even if it was slow. But then in April, my 18-year-old niece came to live with me, and not too long after that, she got a dog, whose name is Goose. Now, my days are filled with making dinner and making sure the dog gets enough exercise. And since we live in New England, with the winters being so cold and so wet, it's a daily struggle. I'm constantly busy with little time to focus on the thing that I really want to do, which is write. I love my blog. I love writing and helping other people write too. But it's hard to find the time with all the responsibilities. It feels selfish to stop and say, what about me? But it's not selfish. It's important that everyone in your family is taken care of, and that everyone includes you. Remember, we've been saying that remember you're a person who needs help as well. Last week on the podcast, we talked about how INFJs need meaning and purpose in our lives. It's something that I talk a lot about, and I've developed a lot of resources for because I've struggled with it a lot. And a lot of people ask me about it too. So if you haven't checked out my website yet, or maybe you just haven't in a while, go over to infjwoman.com/purpose and check out all the latest resources that I have available. If you're still unsure of what your purpose is, there's a bunch of things over there that will help you define it. A lot of us INFJs get stuck in corporate jobs because we need them. I've been talking to my niece a lot about jobs lately because she's in that hectic time between high school and college and a job. I mean, she has a job, but it's not the job that she wants. I remember that feeling. That was one of the worst times of my life. When I was in college and getting a lot of pressure to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and finally pick a major. I changed my major about 12 times, and to this day, I have never actually had a job that I've used the actual degree that I graduated with. I really just wanted to be happy, to feel useful, and hopefully to help people in some way. But being happy didn't pay the bills. So I took one job after another that did pay the bills so that I could keep the lights on while I looked for happiness. I got a new job last year for a big global company. It is by far the best job that I've had, but it still has a lot of the same problems that the other ones had. There are still people telling me what to do who don't understand my job. There are people who make decisions that don't understand what decision they're making or the impact that they're going to have. And there are things the company is engaged in that I don't believe in and I don't want to be involved in. While it's better, it's still not perfect. I find myself asking, what do you really want, a lot? I ask my niece that while we're having discussions about what she wants to do with her life. And while she struggles to answer, I think about it for me too. I try to think back to when I was her age and I was struggling so badly with the same things that she's struggling with. And I try to remember what helped me. She wants to be happy. I want to be happy too, but is that all? And what would make me happy? We like to watch YouTube videos together and laugh about all of the people who make silly YouTube videos and somehow get millions and even billions of views. She even showed me a video this past weekend of a chicken singing some song that had like 1 billion views on it. I couldn't even begin to imagine who thought up a chicken singing a song and why it would have 1 billion views on it. People are really making a living making videos about chickens. It's really crazy, honestly. So we sit there and discuss these videos, and while we can figure out how you can make money with these videos, in my head, I can't determine how I would be happy doing that, even if I was making money. In the grand scheme of things, I like solving big problems. I like setting an impossible goal and knocking it out piece by piece, even if it takes years. I like doing things that people tell me I can't do. That is what's most fun for me. Having my own business felt impossible until I did it. Building my first website felt like it was never going to happen until it was done. Writing my first blog post was just a dream for a long time, but now it's something I do all the time. What are the impossible things that are on your to-do list? The things that you've wanted to do for a while but you haven't been able to do. If blogging is one of those things, you're in the right place. I started my blog about 4 years ago because I really wanted to write. I had started a bunch of blogs and they just hadn't worked out. I hadn't been committed enough to stick to them, and plus I let imposter syndrome get the better of me. I would write a blog post, pour my heart and soul into that blog post, and then hit publish, and then sit there and start thinking about how it was out there on the internet and anybody could read it, and then I would get paralyzed with fear until I would delete it, usually within a few minutes of posting it. I did this for years until I actually started the blog that I have now just about 4 years ago. At that time, I knew that I wasn't going to delete the blog posts, that I was just going to have to get over all of the fear, all of the terror of other people knowing what was going through my head and what I was struggling with in my life. And it was a lot to deal with, especially by myself. So if you're interested in blogging, I want to help you. I've been through all of these things, and I want to help you and support you while you're going through them so that you don't have to deal with the same things that I dealt with. I want to share with you all the inside secrets that I have, all the things that I've learned over the past 4 years, and all of the things that if I was starting over from day one right now, that I would do differently. So I've put together a 5-day boot camp that is completely free to join. It's called Write for Your Life. All the fun starts Monday, January 9th. And if you're interested in joining, make sure that you go to infjwoman.com/challenge to sign up. And again, it's completely free, so there's no reason not to join. The freedom that I've gotten from blogging is really hard to describe. It's so freeing. It's so amazing to know that you're doing something that you've wanted to do for a long time that will help people and that you can actually make a living doing. It's purpose and meaning and income all in one place. The best part is how much money you make is really up to you. If you're looking for a side hustle to supplement your income, or if you're ready to kiss your corporate gig goodbye and go all in, you can. It's completely up to you. I'll be giving you all the details during this 5-day bootcamp, so make sure you go to infjwoman.com/challenge to sign up today.